settle in. I am going to encourage you to make your mat nice and comfy, cozy. I have a little blanket on it because yoga and this mindfulness practice, these two practices, they are really an inside job, right? We practice and it's really from the inside out that we are transforming ourselves and making changes and creating peace in our body, mind, and spirit. So let's come to lay down on our mats, and we'll start in a Shavasana pose, which is our final resting pose. And I'd like to practice a particular mindfulness practice that we'll practice in the beginning and then after we add some movement and breath. So just to kind of notice the difference between, just notice the effect that we've had on our body, mind, spirit after our practice. So once you get settled in, just notice the parts of the body that are making connection with the floor. Notice those spaces between the floor and your body. So the lower back, usually there's a little curve, the back of the neck, the ankles. And see if you can tuck your shoulders underneath, maybe one shoulder at a time. Just create a little broadening of the chest. And then let your palms face up. And if you're comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. Let your senses wander and notice sounds in your space. Notice the temperature of the air. Notice that sensation of the clothes against your skin. And we're going to practice a systematic body scan, so bringing our awareness throughout our body. And just notice. So allow your awareness to be on your legs, your lower legs, from your knees down, your feet, your ankles, your shins, your calves. Notice if one leg feels heavier perhaps than the other. Notice maybe if one foot is turned out a little more than the other. Just begin to tune into the subtleties of your own body. Allow your awareness to drift up to your knees. Feel sensation in the right knee if you can. Just bring that awareness there. See if you can take your awareness inside, especially if you have any knee injuries or knee tweakiness. See if you can just let your awareness explore that area of the knee. And take it over to the left. Just let your own awareness rest there on the left knee. And take your awareness into your legs, your quadriceps and your thighs. And see if you can notice a difference between the right and the left. Perhaps one feels a little lighter. Maybe you notice sensation. So perhaps if you eaten breakfast, maybe you notice a little rumbling in your tummy. Just notice that. Bring your awareness there to the belly. And then draw your awareness up into your chest space, your heart space, and feel that sensation of the heart beating, your lungs breathing. And feel the heaviness of both hands, both arms. Notice the difference. Bring your awareness into your palms, your fingers. And draw that awareness up into your throat, that throat chakra that we opened last week. See if you can swallow in your throat perhaps and feel sensation there. And then allow your awareness to rest on your jaw for a moment. Notice what's going on in your jaw. The tongue, let the tongue relax. Perhaps it's on the roof of the mouth and you drop it down. Maybe the teeth part a little bit. And then draw your awareness up to the crown of the head. And then bring your awareness to your entire body. See if you can imagine yourself with a bird's eye view of your body, looking down, lying on your mat. And allow yourself to breathe a little more deeply for a few breaths, breathing into all nooks and crannies. Perhaps you noticed sensation in an area you'd like to send some loving breath to. Fill up completely. Send that nourishing breath to those areas. And let your exhalation be slow and long. Good. And take two more. Just finding your own slow rhythm as we begin our practice. Excellent. And on that last long breath, hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. Wrap your arms around your legs. And see if it might feel good to just rock gently back and forth as you settle into your mat. And then on your next inhalation, send your left leg long. Keep your right leg pulled in towards your shoulder. Take some ankle circles on your right leg. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. And on your next inhalation, send the right leg long. Hug your left knee into your shoulder and take some ankle circles, both directions on this side. Good, just waking up. And when you're ready, inhale deeply, send your arms up overhead, send your legs long, point your toes. And on your exhalation, take that hug, that squeeze again. Maybe your nose comes in towards your knees, good. And then re-extend, get long, take up space. Maybe arch your back a little bit, just a gentle arch of the lower back. Engaging those legs. Exhale as you hug it in, squeeze. Good, we'll take one more. Inhale, reach, lengthen, point your toes, arch your back a little bit more, a little baby back bend to start. And then slowly give yourself a little hug. Bring your nose to your knees. Good. And if you're comfortable rocking forward and back, let's take some little rocks and we'll come up into boat pose and we'll start to get a little more awakening in our belly. If you'd like to just come up to a seat, use the strength of your arms, but this is a really nice massage for the back especially if you have a blanket on your mat. So when you're ready, we're going to see if we can come up and balance here in boat pose. Now your legs can come behind your on on your quadriceps, behind your quadriceps, on your hamstrings. Good, and just see what happens if you lean back a little bit, maybe just a little bit. Maybe you release your hands. Maybe you open your heart a little bit more. Say hello, abs. Good morning, abs. Yep, here we are. Maybe take your hands back, take a moment, drop your toes to the floor, lift your heels, shine your heart. And on your inhalation, let's take one more. Yeah, good morning, abs. Maybe we lean back a little bit more. Maybe we gaze up toward the sky. Oh yeah, a little wiggle wobble. Let's wake up. Let's warm it up. All right, take your hands gently behind your legs and we'll come up to seated. I'll face you. Take your feet together in Baddha Konasana. We'll take our first hip opener here. So maybe you flap your wings a little bit, waking up those inner and outer thighs, drawing your feet a little closer to you. If your knees permit, you can always have them out a little farther. You can always sit up on another blanket or a block if you like. And as you inhale, shine your heart. And as you exhale, come forward. Just notice that lower back. Just see what happens as you come forward. So breathing into those nooks and crannies, especially the tighter ones as we just start our practice. Let's take 2 more breaths here. See if you can notice where you might be holding on to resistance and let your breath soften you. Excellent. And then on that last exhalation, just slowly come up, bring your feet to the floor, take your hands behind you, and just windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Beautiful. Good. We're going to sit up here, cross your legs in any way that works for you. If that doesn't work, extend your legs. And just take a moment. Let your palms rest where they're comfortable. Let your eyes close. And take a moment to just notice. One of the reasons I like to do a body scan in a Shavasana position is because it's much easier to take your awareness up and down. When you're seated, it's not so easy because your legs are, crossed. You have to draw that awareness up your legs. I think it's a little more complicated. So if you're trying your body scan at home, you might want to lay on your bed or on your mat. But just here, take a moment, just pause. Just notice what you've brought to your mat this morning. Take a nice full breath in, and on your exhalation, take your chin down to your chest. On your inhalation, take your nose up to the sky. And one more down, chin to chest. And sitting up nice and tall, nose to sky. And then see what happens if you draw some circles with your nose in one direction. You might notice a little crunchiness in the neck. Just take it slow, go easy. Pay really good attention to what's going on inside the body. And then switch directions. Draw that circle in the opposite direction. Good. And then pause here at the center. And as you're ready, lift your left arm up and overhead. Just lean over to the right side. Good. Inhale, sweep it back up and down and take your right arm up and over. Just a gentle lean, a gentle, soft side bend. Let's take 2 more each side. Inhale, up and over. And exhale, we'll switch. Inhale and exhale. One more each side, just moving slowly with your breath, matching breath to movement. Good. Last one here. Let's take our fingertips and just walk them forward, coming forward. One more check-in with that lower back. Chin comes to chest. Soften here. Bring your awareness to the back of the neck now. Notice what's going on. And on your inhalation, walk yourself back up, and we'll come up to a tabletop. So you can fold your blanket up if you'd like and pad your knees a little bit more. Take a little Sophie shake, hips go right to left, tops of the feet on the floor. The hands, the fingers are nice and spread, and the hands under the shoulders. Let's dip our belly toward the floor, lift your gaze, come into a cow pose here. Nice big breath in, and as you exhale, draw your belly to your spine, bring the crown of the head to the floor, round into that cat shape. Excellent. Take another cow. And use your exhalation to bring you into your cat shape. Maybe you draw your belly up higher into your spine. Good. One more. Inhale. And a long, slow exhalation. Belly comes to spine. Good. Then come back to neutral. Let yourself just soften here. And then we're going to bring our knees nice and wide on our mat. Bring those big toes together and sink your hips back, coming into an extended child's pose. So we're going to let our head come down to the mat, or if it doesn't quite land there, maybe a block or a blanket can be your resting place. So once you arrive in child's pose, just check in. It's a nice stretch for the back, so let this be a resting pose for you and a nice stretch. Good. Big stretch for the upper back and shoulders as well. Maybe walk your hands a little farther forward. And on your next big, nice, deep inhalation, take your hands over to the right. We'll get another stretch. Make sure your left hip is drawing back toward that left heel. Another stretch for the left side body. On your inhalation, we'll take it over to the left and do that same thing. The right hand can actually rest right on the left top of the left hand. Take that right hip back toward the right heel. Good. And take one more breath in as we walk our way forward. Come back through your tabletop. And we'll tuck our toes here. I have a little fly that's visiting me today. And just walk your hands slowly back. Now see if this works for you. If it doesn't work, we're coming up into downward facing dog. See if you can walk your hands slowly back. And we'll take a little toe stand, a little toe squat. So if this does not work for your knees, we will meet you in downward facing dog. But if you like this first little balance pose, join me. Shine your heart, smile, take a nice big breath in. And then as you exhale, take your hands back down. We're going to walk them out, lift your hips, downward facing dog. So good, we're joining all our friends. Let's walk our dogs together. Take a little walk, bending one knee and then the other. Good job. Breathing in and breathing out as you find your stillness in your down dog. Taking your gaze back towards your feet, your knees, your belly. Lift your hips a little bit higher. Say good morning to the hamstrings. Come up on your toes. Stretch your toes. And then look forward. Take a walk to the front of your mat. And let's meet in forward fold. So our feet are about hip width. Our fingertips can just graze the floor, or perhaps reach for your elbows and come into ragdoll. And notice how your knees are either bent slightly or straightened based on what your body inside is telling you is appropriate for you. So a little bit more of a bend in the knee is going to soften the stretch on your lower back. So perhaps that's where you need to be at this point. So notice what's going on in the back of the neck again. Shake it yes and no and see if you can soften there. Take a nice big breath in
and a full breath out, long and slow. And then as you inhale, let's come up to a halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana, half table. And as you exhale, fold forward. Maybe the legs are a little bit more straightened. And then maybe you bend your knees here, maybe not. Inhale as you root to rise, drawing your arms up, taking your gaze up, finding length in the body. Nice big breath here. Gaze forward now. Take a big breath in and reach for your left wrist and take a lean over to the right. Another side stretch. Take your gaze under your left shoulder. Little stretch for the neck again here. Keep both feet firmly planted on your mat. Good. Inhale, come up to center and take a hold of the right wrist. Lean left. Breathe in here. Look right. You've got this. Good. Good stretch for the side body. As you inhale, reach up and look up at your fingertips. Maybe wiggle your fingertips. So a little bit of wiggle wobble might happen here. And then take your palms together up above the crown of your head. Draw them right down into your heart center. And just take a moment here. Let your shoulders drop down and away from those ears. Good. Release your hands coming into Tadasana, mountain pose. Excellent. Draw the shoulders back and down. And shine your heart as you gaze forward. Good. And take a moment here in Tadasana. So maybe you close one eye, maybe you want to go for it and close two eyes, both eyes. Just challenge your balance a little bit. And then just like we were paying so close attention to every little part of the body, notice what's happening as you make those minor adjustments just to stay here in space. No minor feat, right? No pun intended. All right, blink your eyes open, bring your weight over into your right leg. See what happens if you just come up to your left toes. Maybe you take your hands to heart center. And maybe you want to lift that leg off the floor and balance. So having a wall or a chair nearby is always good. If your balance is challenged today, just go easy. And as you exhale, just lower that left foot to the floor. Take a moment in Tadasana to regain your sense of balance between the right and the left side. Maybe close your eyes. And take a full breath in here and a slow breath out to regain your peace. And we'll take our weight over to the left side and challenge our balance here. Now I have a wall here. I could have a little assistance if I want it. See what happens when you just come to your toe. Maybe that's enough for you. Or maybe you bring your leg, your knee up to your waist. Good. Find your balance, find your space. One side's going to be probably more challenging than the other. That's just the way we're made. And then as you exhale, just slowly lower it down. Shake all that out. Let's get rid of that. We're done. Nice little balance challenge here. Take a little bend in your knees. Inhale, sweep your arms up, reach up for the sky, look up. And as you exhale, go ahead, take your fingertips to the floor or your blocks. Inhale, come to your halfway lift, your half table. We've already been there. Gaze slightly forward, keeping that length from the crown to the tailbone. And then as you exhale, take the fingertips to the floor. Let's step the right leg all the way back. Get a nice long runner's lunge. Maybe rock forward and back again, stretching the ankle and the foot. And then take your right hand to the inside of the left leg, keeping that left ankle over the left knee. Sweep your left arm up. Find a nice twist here. So gazing up, maybe toward that extended arm. Good. Breathe in and breathe out. Take the left hand down to meet the right, framing that left foot. And then lower the right knee. That fly really loves me. Take your hips back towards your left heel. Lift your left toes. Shine your heart. Gaze forward. Take a big breath in, and then exhale as you bow toward that left knee. Good. If this is bothering your right knee, you can always come up, lift it up. All right, as you're ready, come back into that lunge. Take your hands to frame the left foot. Tuck your right toes. Send your left foot back to meet your right, downward facing dog. Good. Take a moment in down dog to find your stretch. So go inside again. And let this be a good stretch for where you need it today. So hamstrings, back, and spreading those fingers nice and wide, taking pressure off your wrists. Take one more breath in, come up on your toes, stretch those feet, and look forward. Take a walk forward. Good. Forward fold. So this time in forward fold, let your peace fingers wrap around your big toes. Draw your elbows out and find a forward fold. Maybe you come a little bit closer to your legs as you draw your elbows out. Good. Let the head hang, soft back of the neck, soft jaw. One more breath in and out. And then inhale, come to your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Let's step the left foot all the way back. Find that runner's lunge. Maybe rock forward and back a little bit. Good. And find stillness. Take the left hand to the inside of the right leg. Take a twist. Right arm lifts. That right knee is lined up so nicely over that right ankle. Good job. Good. On your exhalation, right hand comes down, left knee lowers down unless your left knee is bothering you. And then straighten the right leg, lift the right toes, bring your nose towards your knee. Good. Take a full breath here. And a nice long exhalation, then bring that right foot back to flat, hands frame the right foot, tuck the left toes. We'll send the right foot back to downward facing dog. Maybe you walk your dog. And maybe you just find stillness here. And go inside again. Maybe belly draws to spine a little bit more. Maybe hips lift a little bit more. Find the stretch that works for you. Notice how strong your shoulders are. Good. Inhale. Allow your your heels to lift. One more time. Nice stretch of the toes today. And then as you're ready, walk forward. Find your forward fold. Good. Inhale. Root to rise. Pressing your weight into the mat. Reaching your arms all the way up, looking up. And then take your palms together right above your crown and draw right down the center line of the body. Let them land right at your heart. This time take one hand to heart and let the other hand just rest on top of it. Let your eyes close, or one eye. And just feel your heartbeat. Feel your entire body in space. Feel the fly. Keeps landing on my arm. Take a nice full breath in. Feel the breath moving into your hands. And a long exhalation. Good. Beautiful. Blink open your eyes, shake that out. From the front of your mat, take a big step to the right side of your mat and come into star pose. We're going to let our feet, our toes point outward just ever so slightly. And bring your arms up and out, spread your fingers. Become as expansive as you possibly can in star pose. Good. And then we're going to take our right hand and twist over to the left, and the right hand will land on the outside somewhere of this left leg. And then the left arm can lift up, and we'll come into a twist here. Good. Now you might want to flip your palm of your left hand and take it around back behind you. And notice what's happening with your hips. See if you can let your hips be as square as possible and let that left shoulder open up. Good. Breathe in here and breathe out. Good. On your next exhalation, just come forward into a forward fold. You can let your head hang for just a brief moment. And on your inhalation, come up to your fingertips. Let your back be long. Let your shoulders draw away from your ears. Good. And on your next inhalation, hands come to hips. Use the strength of your legs and your belly to come back up. Send those arms out. Become a star. The star that you are. Good. Breathe in. And on your exhalation, we're going to take it to the other side. So left hand comes somewhere to the outside of that right leg. Keep the hips square. Right arm lifts up, gazing underneath that right shoulder. Keep both feet firmly planted. Notice the left side of the left foot. See if you can bring your awareness there. Send it into the mat. And then flip your palm. Take that half bind if you like. Open up that right shoulder a little bit more, using the strength of your strong legs to hold you here. Good. Nice big breath in. And on your exhalation, forward fold again. This time, see if you can bring your hands to line up with your feet. And just let your head dangle. Good. Full breath in. And on your exhalation, we're going to walk our hands back to the front of our mat, spin our feet so they're both facing the same direction, and then send the left foot back to meet the right. So we're in plank pose here. Okay, look, it's a new week. We could all use a little bit of a challenge before we take some more yin poses. So let's take a side plank. So let's take our body. You can always come down to your belly. Take your weight into your left hand. Lift your right arm up to the sky and stretch those obliques. You can always take your right foot behind you. Your toes can come to the ground. Or you can stack, or you can lower your knees to the mat. I'll just keep talking, and maybe you won't even notice that we're up here because you're so strong. Maybe your arm wants to reach up and overhead. Oh my goodness, you're so strong. Take one more breath, slow and easy. You're doing this. And then come back down to your plank. Let's take it to the other side. Right hand lowers, left arm lifts. Good side plank here. Decide if you want to take that left foot to the floor, or maybe keep it stacked, or maybe lower your knees. See if you want to make that rainbow shape, drawing the right side of the obliques up and into that side body. Good. Take one more breath. You've got this. And then exhale, come back to center and lower your knees. Lower the tops of the feet. Lower your whole beautiful body all the way down to the mat and make a pillow. Sophie, shake it out. Good. Take a moment to just rest here. You deserve it. Feel your heartbeat. Notice where you feel your pulse in your body, and feel the support of the mat underneath you. You are always supported. Good. When you're ready, let's bring our elbows underneath our shoulders and let your palms rest on the mat. Little compression for the lower back, so we will be here for a few rounds of breath. So this is called Sphinx pose, and it is a back bend. And notice immediately if it starts to make your shoulders want to creep up towards your ears, see if you can draw them down and away. Notice also if there's anything that is happening in your face, perhaps your jaw. Sometimes I clench my teeth in this shape. Just notice, see if you can use your breath. Send your breath to those areas where you might need some comfort. Good, slow it down. And the trick is to keep the exhalations a little longer than the inhalations. We know that. Good. Couple more breaths here. Yeah. Excellent. All right, so we're going to slowly lower down. Let the forehead rest on the floor. And take your hands to either side of your shoulders, and then take those elbows and tuck them in, draw your shoulders down, and press into the mat. Come into your gentle cobra, but come all the way up to your knees, and then bring your legs so they touch. Your knees come to touch, and then send your hips back for another child's pose. But this time, we will send the hands back toward the heels, and just curl up in this little seed pose. Stretch the back body. A nice counter stretch for that Sphinx. Good. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Soft and easy. Breathing into that back body. Good. And from here, see if you can keep your hands framing the outsides of your feet and just roll up to the crown of your head, and then tuck your toes on the floor, and then roll your forehead, or somewhere in the middle of your forehead and the crown of your head is pressing into the floor. Draw your belly into your spine for rabbit pose. Nice stretch for the whole back, the entire back. So you can press into those feet, you can press away with your feet, get a little more stretch in the upper back. Take a nice full breath in, and as you exhale, take your hands to the mat, come on up, and we'll come to a seat. Bring that left leg to the inside of the right leg. Extend the right leg out at an angle, flex your feet. And then take your right hand, see if you can tuck it under the right calf, and always prop yourself up wherever you need it, wherever there's a space where you think a blanket or a towel might feel good. And so when you're ready, we're going to take this left arm, reach it up and over as though we're reaching for the right toes, but keep your gaze toward the left side, underneath that left shoulder. And just notice what's speaking to you here. Go inside, check in. We'll take a nice big breath in here. And as you exhale, sweep that left hand down, press it into the mat, and we'll just come up to a nice counter stretch here. Good. As you exhale, we're just going to switch. So the right leg comes inside the left, extend that left leg long, flex the left toes, take the left hand underneath this left calf, that gives you a little extra support, and decide if you want to tuck something under the right leg. Take that right arm up and over, reach for the left toes, keeping your torso facing forward so you get a really deep side stretch, and then take your gaze under the right shoulder. Breathe in. Long, full exhalation here. Good. And on your next exhalation, take that right hand down. We'll just come up for a counter stretch. Excellent. Very good. Well, here we are. Let's take ourselves down to the mat. Extend your legs long. Come back into that familiar Shavasana pose. Maybe it would feel good to hug your knees in. We'll have another chance for that. But for now, let's just take them over to the right and take a little twist. Left arm reaches out. Gaze is over that left shoulder. Breathe in. Soft exhalation, but long and full. And as you're ready, knees come back into chest. Feel free to rock from side to side. Circle it out. And then eventually let them land over on the left. Take your right arm out.
Take your gaze towards your right shoulder. Full breath. Long exhalation. Breathe in. Breathe out. Awesome. On your next breath in, we're going to bring our feet up to our hips, heels coming close to the hips. We'll take one bridge pose. So if you know that wheel is something you like to practice, if you feel like your back is warm enough, go for it. I will not cue it. But keep your knees parallel, lift your hips, and then snuggle your shoulders, maybe clasp your hands underneath you, and smile at your ceiling. Maybe giggle at your ceiling. Good. Breathe in, lift a little bit higher. You've got this. And then on your exhalation, make it long and really, really slow and full as you just lower one bone at a time until you come all the way down to the mat. And then extend your legs long. Bring them as wide as your mat. Let your arms rest. Again, palms face up. Snuggle your shoulders so you have a nice wide, expansive heart space. And then settle in for our second body scan. Now, this one might be a little bit different. Just acknowledge, as we arrive here, your heartbeat. Acknowledge your respiration. We've worked hard. Side planks are no joke. You did great. Let's take a full breath in. And as you exhale, bring your awareness down to your feet, the right foot and the left. Draw that awareness up into your ankles, your shins, your calves. And draw that awareness up into your legs, your hips, your torso. Awareness of the right arm resting on the floor. Awareness of the right hand, fingers, thumb, palm. Awareness of the left arm resting on the floor. The fingers of the left hand, the palm, the thumb. Bring your awareness to your shoulders, your neck, your throat, your jaw. Allow your awareness to draw up into your cheekbones and your brow. The top of the head, the back of the head. Imagine a bird's eye view of your body in Shavasana. And then let it go for just a moment of rest. Nothing to do here. This is from a book by Dana Felds called One Soul.
posture flow. This is a sacrament, a prayer of breath, a symphony of soul and motion. This is yoga, emerging from the inside out, all here in the singular meditation of spirit. Trust that the body knows what it needs if you dare to follow where it leads. And trusting your own body, your own mind, your own spirit. Decide if you want to stay right where you are for a little longer. But if you'd like to join me in a seat, come on up using the strength of your arms. We'll take one more moment to check in. Allow your eyes to close. And just notice, is your spine a little longer perhaps? Is your mind a little more free? And how is your breath moving through your body? And you can continue to check in with yourself as you move through your day and your week and your life. Yoga is forever. With that, inhale, reach up for all the goodness, look up, draw it right down to your own beautiful heart. Let your chin bow. Take a moment to find some reverence for yourself for showing up to your mat again, yet again. We've created such a good ongoing practice. Thank you for joining me. Send out a prayer of love to the world. And until next time, I will see you on the mat. Namaste.